Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
King of Siam is an area control game. Now, the box says it can play 2 to 4. I find the game works better with 3 or 4, probably 4 for my taste. Although some people have said they really like the 2-player experience. But just mind you that you will be playing with all of the colors or the additional color at that point. What you're doing is, there would be a line where people can score, and you kind of know when things are going to scoring, although that can be manipulated a little bit, and you have that set of cards, and that's all you have. Each card you can play one time, so once you play it, it's done. So your actions are very limited in the game, so you need a lot of bang for your buck with the actions. This can make the game feel a little brain-burning. When do I do something? And then you play off of your opponents about what you want to score. And every time you kind of score an area or put things there, you can take them off, and then whoever has the most of that color will kind of get points. So you want a certain number to be off, but you're also pulling that color off. So that kind of plays into it also. This game has a very good reputation. A lot of people really like this game, and I have to admit it's a very solid game. The theme does nothing for me and actually detracts from it a little bit. This King of Siam, I'm not really into this Thailand theme very much. It just doesn't do anything for me. It's fine, these elections that are going on, but it just doesn't feel like what it is. And I just don't care for it. It's not for me. So it detracts a little bit from the game. Area control games don't tend to be my favorite. I feel like there's a lot of take that. This one's very interesting that I'm trying to get certain colors at certain times, and I want to be able to pull those cubes off. So I'm going to want certain areas to score differently and to pull those off for end-of-game scoring purposes. So there's a little bit more going on than just get as many people as you can in an area and then fight it out. That's not really what you're trying to do here. And I find that very interesting. And I find, the funny thing is that this adds up to be a very, very good game, a very solid game, and one that's thought very highly of. Yet, it isn't something that I find myself wanting to pull off very often and play. Mostly the theme. Mostly, it's just one of those games that when I play it, it's brain-burning, I have a good time, but I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me, and it's kind of hard to tell why. You can have a very well-designed game, you can have a very streamlined game, and it just doesn't appeal to you, and that's what we find here. If you like area control, if you like this kind of push and pull that you're going to see in the flow of the game, I think this game may speak to you. It's highly regarded. So I'm probably on the most negative end of reviews, even though I'm giving it a positive review. A lot of people are really going to like this game. Now, what is so strong about it is that you're playing it against your opponents. The area control isn't just having the most people there, which is interesting and very different than a lot of other places. And that card play, the hand management of not being able to play a card multiple times. You know what actions you have. You know what actions your opponent has. Can you manipulate the cubes and the game and the cards in such a way to beat your opponents? That's very different because your opponents don't have any resources. They don't have any cards that you don't have. The best player will probably be who played the best game, who was able to outplay their opponents, and that direct conflict is going to be very interesting to some players. So, in that regard, it's a very highly regarded game. It was one I purged, but it was one of the hard purges. When you have as many games as I have, you can't keep them all. You can't even keep all the great ones. Your playing style is going to dictate what you keep. I think that's where King of Siam falls. It was just something that didn't fit my playing style and one I felt comfortable getting rid of, but I hemmed and I hawed about it for a very long time. So while this is a purge, this is a game I'm going to highly recommend you check out. If it looks like something you like, it's an insta-buy. It just is an insta-buy. But if it seems like something you might enjoy, check this one out for sure. This would be a hidden gem. Here's the box for King of Siam. It's a pretty portable box. It's pretty small, but once you open it up inside, you'll see that it's much more portable than the box would rely on. You're going to get these cards, and everybody's going to have the same deck of cards, but you can see there are really no words, just pictures with the icons. You can kind of see what's going on, and you'll memorize these fairly quickly. You're going to get a bunch of wooden cubes and little chits. They're okay. This is from a different era, but it's nice enough for this game. You're going to get a board, which will unfold. And I'm not really crazy about this board. I feel like there's a lot of wasted space. Everything you're playing really is up here. A little bit through here, but I mean, all of this is just wasted. And I realize that's the shape of what they're doing. I just feel like it's a wasted board. The board could have been a lot smaller just to fit that if you wanted to make the game more portable. The components are fine. This is something you would see in a different era, But this game can really, really be condensed down if you want it to be. Here's the rulebook. You can see very plain, no artwork on the front. You're going to have some very small font here. You can see it's kind of broken up. The pictures that are included are not in color, but they work fairly well. There's really no turn of play order here, which is really kind of hard to follow when you're in the book. How the power struggles work, and then win the game, and then what to do in a 4-player game. And the remainder of this is just other languages. The rulebook is okay. I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10. So here's what the game looks like set up. These tiles, which will signify each area on the board, will be randomized. Here in the red one, you're going to put 2 red cubes, 2 yellow cubes, and 2 blue cubes. And then everything else will be random, so you have 4 cubes in each section. Then each player will grab their 8 cards, and this is all you're going to have for the game. So the game is fairly easy to play. On your turn, you can play a card, then take a cube off the board, or you can pass. You're going to have these 8 cards, which is all that you will have during the game. Once you play one, they're out of the game forever. So let me show you what some of the cards do. This one allows you to put a red, blue, and yellow cube anywhere out that you want. So say I want to put one there, and one there. Then I could take a cube off the board. So say I take a yellow off the board, I now have a yellow. I'm going to place it here just for ease of being able to see it. Now we know right here that this area right here is going to score first, which will be here. And that's very easy to do. So let's say everybody passes. In succession, we will then score this area. Because the majority of cubes is yellow, it will get a yellow counter signifying that yellow has won it. These will come off into the supply, and this will be run over. So next up will be Lenin, which is right here. Right now, yellow has the majority. But say I do not want that to happen, I could play this card, which will flip 2 tiles. So I'm not ready for that one to score yet. No, let's say it's right here. So instead of that one score, I want this one to score. So I would just swap these, and I would place a king on it, and that king just signifies that's already been swapped and can no longer be swapped again. Because I really want this area down here to score for whatever purpose. And then what I'll do is I'll play the 2 versus 1, which will allow me to take 2 cubes off a spot, maybe up here, and I can put 1 back there. Maybe I want to do something like that. So yellow is the majority, and then I would take a cube, any cube I want, off of the board. Now let's say everybody passes in succession. Yellow once again has the majority. I would put a yellow cube out. Now, let's say you were going to score here, and there's a tie. If there's a tie, then it would go to Britain, and either one of these would win. So that's how that would work. And as the game progresses, and you've played all your cards, and you scored all these, you're going to end up with 8 cubes, because each time you play a card, you're going to pick a cube. So in this case, I would have a majority of yellow, so I would be wanting yellow to win. And if yellow, so let's talk about this. So if there is 4 ties, so 4 British tiles come out, then the British have won and have invaded. At that point, whoever has the most sets, 1 of each color, would be the victor. If Britain did not win, so let's say the rest of it scored, and in this case, yellow has the most, then whoever has the most yellow cubes will win the game. Now, the trick here is, in order to be yellow, you have to have the majority of yellow, which means you want to take yellow off. But as you take yellow off the board, there will be less yellow to win majority. So it's a little push and pull there. So you probably wouldn't end up with like 5 yellows like you see here, although maybe you would. And that's how you play the King of Siam. So as the game progresses, you may say, hey, I got 3 yellows, but yellow's no chance of winning up here, and you might want to change your strategy to be a different color. Who should buy this game? Couple people. I would say a very patient player. In most games, you want to play the cards in your hand. This one, you're going to have to hold back a little bit, and you're going to be playing it, because you only get 1 shot to play each card, and you want to make sure you get maximum effect for that. So that's going to appeal to a certain type of gamer, a patient gamer. And this one, you're also area control, but you're not just piling up like in Risk. You want certain things to score at certain times, and you're taking cubes off the board for your end of game scoring, preferably cubes that would benefit you being on the board. Very brain burny here. Even though you can play this with non-gamers, the rules are very simple. There's only a very few amount of cards that you have to kind of download in your brain. How do these work? It's not necessarily how to play that makes this game complicated, but the strategy put into the game. I think with this one, the better player will win 9 times out of 10. You can't say that about every game because of the luck factor in some games, but in this game, I would say the better player is likely to win. For me, it's going to be a Purge. It's on my shelf. The theme doesn't really pull me in. It takes a lot to get something off these shelves because there are so many games and so many new games being released. Very, very good game. In many regards, this is going to be a hidden gem for many players and one that I recommend nearly anyone watching this check out. If it sounds like something you would like, it's an insta buy. It's that good. For me, it's a Purge. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you liked it, please like it and hit that little subscribe button. That really helps out the channel, lets us know that you're getting the videos that you want. If you agreed or disagree with what I said, feel free to comment below. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I promise that I will comment back. Thanks for watching, and everybody else, keep playing.